Hi, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm looking at the Messerschmitt Bf110E twin-engined heavy fighter in 1/72nd scale from AIRFIX. This is the most recent from a long line of releases of the type. If you enjoy the show, you can support the channel for free by subscribing, hit the bell, and you'll be notified of all my future releases. And remember, anything you like here, please give it the imperial thumbs up on the like button below. Let's make a start with looking at the background of the kit. The kit I'm making today was released in 2023. It's based on the kit released first in 2011 but with new decals. That itself was a new parts release of a brand new tooled Bf110C from 2010. Before this, the only AIRFIX Bf110 was a tooling made all the way back in 1959. It moved from bag to box in 1962 and in 1966 got its Roy Cross artwork. Also in 1966 it made its first appearance as part of a dogfight double with the Spitfire Mark IX. This was the last appearance of the old Bf110 when released as a gift set as recently as 2008. And here's the box of the Bf110E Tropical Flight of 110s over some North African or Mediterranean island. Beautiful bit of artwork as usual by Adam Tooby. Down here in the bottom corner is the product code. It's A03081A. The 03 at the beginning means this is a Series 3 kit, and the A at the end means it's a rebox from a previous version. On this side we have lots of warnings and things on many languages as usual. On the other long side we have a history of the aircraft, very briefly. We have the two schemes, the aircraft from Zerstörer 26 and Jagdgeschwader 5. And down here we have a note to the effect that when complete, the aircraft will be 175mm long, 226mm in span, and there are 108 pieces. The kit is rated at skill level 2, so you could probably make one of these if you've never made a kit before, although having made something else like a starter kit would be a distinct advantage. There's a reminder of the existence of the AIRFIX Club, and there's a token for 1 flying hour. Now, if you're a member of the AIRFIX Club and you can collect these tokens, then at some point you'll be able to swap them for a free kit. If you're not a member of the club, or if you are a member of the club and you're not bothered about flying hours, do please consider sending them to Models for Heroes. They can collate them together, swap them with AIRFIX for some kits to help former and current members of the Armed Forces and Blue Light Services who are dealing with mental health issues as a result of their service to our country. It's a brilliant cause. It's run by Models for Heroes. Details of them are in the information box below. Okay, let's have a look then and see what we get inside the box for our money. The box is a top opener, as are most larger AIRFIX kits, and inside we have the traditional array of contents. We have a large PVC bag containing the plastic parts, a separate PVC bag inside with the clear parts. We have an instruction leaflet which hides the decal sheet here, and instruction leaflet like so. Let's have a look at these bits in some more detail. So here we have frame A, obviously the upper and lower parts of the wings, and 2 crew members. There are 2 crew. There are 2 crew figures. Huzzah and hurrah for that at last. Frame B, of course, are the fuselage halves, fuel tanks, bombs, mounting pack there. The fuselage has these sort of optional, the bigger extensions underneath the fins that the trops had for lateral stability. So you have both options in this kit really. There's no frame C, so we go straight onto frame D for Delta. Engine parts, obviously tailplane, props, undercarriage, and bits like that really. And then finally frame E for the grey plastic, different nose with some gun barrels, different tyres with the flat spotting tyres, and the presume tropical filters here because for the 110 tropical. And then we have, actually no, they call this frame C, oddly enough, and that's the one-piece canopy for the pilot and for the gunner observer, and something in here, I'm guessing that's going to be a gun sight or something like that. A closer look at the plastic here, you can see it's very nicely moulded. It's that, the dark grey plastic they currently use, sort of dark grey with a hint of brown in it. Panel lines are fine. That's 1/72. AIRFIX do make them slightly chunky at 1/72 scale, but they're going to be good. Once these have been painted and varnished, you'll still be able to pull these out with a bit of panel line wash and maybe even do a bit of staining and oiling and things like that. The figures are here. As you can see, they come with arms separate, so I don't know. It's probably because you can't mould the figure with the arm sort of onto the control column, because it will sort of curve around and you wouldn't be able to take this out of the mould. So the arms are moulded separately, and of course you've got two pilots. We've got a pilot and an observer, I should say. This will be presumably the observer holding onto the machine gun at the back. They're okay. The AIRFIX figures, what can I say, 1/72. There's a bit of detail in the face, which is fine because that will make it easier to pull out some detail. But the detail of like the flight kit and stuff is a little flat, so that's going to be a little more tricky to paint. But it'll be fine. We'll get there. Otherwise, yeah, molds are okay. The details, as I say, a little thick, a little heavy, but usable for this scale, I think. Looking at some of the smaller parts here, for example, these guns, actually, they're delicate, but they actually look all right. This is going to be a challenge getting this off the frame, however, with those two connection points and a third connection point down there. So we'll probably take it off up there and then around here, and then take these two bits off separately. Because here is the mounting, I guess. Then here we have the undercarriage that looks fine, a little chunky, but it looks okay to me. The detail in these smaller parts is a little lost, but then this is 1/72. These are older technologies, maybe haven't moved on as much as someone says. Armour hobby, these would be a lot finer, but then they'd be a lot more difficult for the average modeler maybe to pull out the detail. So they're okay. They're not brilliant, but then they're not terrible either. And here is the decal sheet. As you can see on this one, they've just basically lumped all the decals together. All the stencils on it are going to be pretty much common anyway. As are the markings. No swastikas, of course. AIRFIX don't include them for various reasons to do with where they distribute and what they're allowed to put into kits. It's just something they don't do. You can buy them on the aftermarket anyway. Other than that, they look very sharp, look very clean. There's not that many of them, and they should look pretty cool when they're on the plane. Then the instructions, very, very straightforward, just like every other AIRFIX kit you're going to see these days pretty much. Name here, the product code here, wingspan 226mm, length 175. There are two decal schemes included. There's a brief history of the Bf110 and some specifications, and they're done in English, French, German, Spanish, and Swedish. On the inside page here are some more assembly instructions, general instructions, and study the drawings and so on and so forth in many, many languages. A translation of the icons that are used here, again, in many languages. And then the instructions start straight away. They're telling you to make the crew figures, which is kind of cool. Constructing the cockpit area, the spare ammunition for the machine guns there. For example, put the crew in, close the cockpit up. Very, very straightforward. You're going to drill some holes here for, I don't know what, maybe some stores, something like that, or maybe they're the racks for the extra fuel tanks or something like that, I guess. That's the tailplane I pointed out at the back, underneath the fuselage, at the back of the tailplane. It sort of extends out on some of them, not on all of them. That gives you just a little bit more sort of lateral stability for the aircraft. Yeah, everything looks pretty straightforward. The undercarriage is relatively simple, which is always good to see. You do have the wheels here are flat spotted, weighted, and it appears that there's actually a square peg here, so they only fit on one way properly, which is good. That is always helpful. Engine construction is very, very straightforward. Yeah, everything's pretty good. There's a few choices now and again between A and B. A is the fully tropicalized version, of course. Oh, there we go. I did beg your pardon. All these look interesting, little fillers and maybe a camera gun or something like that. I don't know. And yeah, the extra drill holes here are for the long range tanks or big long range tanks, depending on what you're doing. You can fit it with bombs as well. It's a destroyer aircraft after all. And then at the end there are these schemes. So you have the tropical scheme in the desert colours of an aircraft of Geschwader 26 in Libya in 1942. Those are the colours I will be using. And an aircraft here flown by Felix Brandis from Geschwader 5 in Norway in 1941 with the mottled scheme there. And on the back are the stencils that are common to both versions. There's quite a few, but yeah, not terrible. And those are the instructions. There we go. It's definitely benefited from a redesign, and the parts look pretty decent. I'm looking forward to making it. If you've enjoyed today's video, please do remember to subscribe. It's a free way to support the channel, and if you hit the bell, you'll be notified of all my future content as well. Thank you so very much for watching today. Hope to see you again soon. Take care now, and goodbye.